Hi there! Welcome to the sequence of video clips where we will build a complete automated test case for regression testing. In the first 3 videos we covered how to install Catalan Recorder add-on to Firefox, how to record and replay a test case, and how easy it is to import a test case definition into baangt. We also saw the test case definition in Microsoft Excel after the import. That was pretty cool, but now we will start to see some of the unique features in baangt in more details. Now we take a closer look into the test case definition file that was automatically created during import. I called mine Automation Practice New, and you will find it in the baangt repository in the folder Examples. Let's open it right now. Let me introduce you to the columns of the first tab. Don't be afraid of terms that you might not understand yet. The first column, Activity, tells baangt what you want it to do. Go to URL, click and input a text somewhere. The next column, Locator, tells baangt which element we are looking for using the locator type from the previous column. You can think of the where to do the activity we specified in what we want baangt to do. The next column is value. You can see the syntax of this field, that is, how we write the content, already in line 1. If we put something in brackets and place a $sign before, baangt knows that this is a variable, a field that will be replaced during execution. If you don't have a value in brackets, it means that it is a fixed value, a constant value that will always be used. That's all the columns we will use in this basic example. The other columns are needed for more complex scenarios. For instance, if you deal with different versions of the software under test, on different stages, or when you use other activities than the ones we use in this test case. You can head over to Read the Docs, where you will always find the latest documentation of baangt. The link is in the description section of this video. Not only will you see all the possible entries of the activity column, but also further information about all the other columns. The description is a bit more up on the page in the column names. Now that we have seen the test case definition, meaning which activities to execute in which order, let's take a closer look into the data that is used to substitute the variables during runtime of the test case. Switch to the Data tab of your Excel sheet. You will find already all the columns with their names and the values that you entered during the recording. Those values are filled in as the first data line. Now let's say you want to execute the test run for another item. Let all the other parts of the test case unchanged. I will add printed chiffon dress as the next product to test. So I will fill in all the fields appropriately. If we would run this test case now, we would not succeed with the second line. The website keeps track of already signed in users. Before we could start test case 2, we need to sign out from the web page. How can we achieve that? One way would be, of course, to go back to Catalan Recorder, record the test case again, and add as a final step to click on the button Sign Out. That seems tedious even for our small example. Imagine you would have to do that all the time when functionality in your web app changes. Instead, I will introduce you to another plugin for Firefox. Similar plugins exist for Chrome. So we will search for TruePath plugin Firefox. We can see the result as the first entry, and we will add it to Firefox. Now that we have TruePath installed, we go back to the web page and we can see the Sign Out button here on the top. We will right-click and there is this new option, relative XPath. When we hover over this option, we can see that there are multiple options, all marked with a green thumbs up. We can choose any of those. In the resulting pop-up, we will choose the XPath descriptor, copy, close the pop-up, head over to our Excel sheet with the test data definition, go into the test sequence, and add in the next free line with paste the entry that we copied. The activity that we want baangt to execute is again click. The locator type is XPath. And now we would be good to go. We have the updated test case definition without re-recording everything, and we have 2 records in the test data. Before we finally run our beautiful test set, let's do one more change. The recorder wasn't able to properly derive the state field in the address as a variable. The field is implemented as an HTML option. If you look into line 33 of the test case definition, you will see that the value is not very user-friendly, the 13th entry of the list. Let's say we want to have the state as a variable. First step is to extend the data file with a new column and name it state. Then we fill in the values Illinois for the first record and Alabama for the second record. Far so good. Next we will let baangt know that we want these variables to be used in the drop-down field for state. We'll do a small change in line 33, change from the fixed value 13 to our text in the column state. We will tell XPath to look for an option that contains the value from our column state in the options text. That's it. Now we can save the Excel sheet. If you want to play around, you can add more combinations in the data tab and execute then more test cases. Or for instance, you could use the technique that we just learned in order to change the birth date of the customer. In line 20, 22 and 24, we have the same behavior from the recorder, where he just took hard-coded values, which we could replace with new columns from the data tab. In the next video, we will see how it all works together by executing all these test cases. That's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of our content.